Hello everyone, welcome back to part 3 of our mini album. Alright, so let's see if we can get some more of these pages filled in. Where did we leave off? Let's see where we left off. Okay, we did those. I think we'll do these two here. And I want to think how I want to do these. Okay, let's go inside first. Let's get a measure here. So we'll need, this is, let's go with 4 3/4 by about 5 1/4. So I'll need 2 of those, 1 for each side. So let's see what we want to put there. Not those pages. We haven't used one of these yet, and we can use one because we got plenty of those. I think on the other side we'll use that one. So let's start there. And there's no right or wrong pattern on this one. 5 1/4 by 4 3/4. We'll cut 2 of them together. 5 1/4. 4 3/4. Okay. And again, I linked this in the description below. The Fairy Witches. I did find a kit. Most places are sold out of it, but I did find the kit on Amazon, and you get the 6x6 to 12x12. You also get this pack with it. And you get the pack of ephemera pieces, which I don't have in front of me right now because we're not ready to use those. I linked that below. Okay. Cut that. Yep. I always double check my cuts because, you know, I'm talking to you guys. You know, I can measure wrong more than once. You know I can screw up. Plenty. When you're trying to do this and make sure you're doing everything and watching the camera, it can be a little much sometimes. Trying to remember if I'm telling you guys everything. I know I have a lot of beginners, so I want to make sure I'm trying to be as clear as possible. Okay. Now I think on the 2 opposites here, I think I'm going to put plain color. That way they can use that for journaling, or they can still put a picture over the top, either way. And I think this one's kind of, I don't want to take the red. So this one looks more like a white. And I don't know if I have anything that light. It looks more white, so I might have to use something else. The other one's off. I don't see much for off whites and whites in here. Pink. Well, we had this little tannish one maybe. I'm going to use this one to go on that side because that matches the background. I do not think I'm going to have to probably use the same one because I do not have anything that looks like a white background. Okay, and I don't want to use red because you won't be able to write on it. So let's use the same one for both sides. I'm not going to cry over it. Okay. Let's see what that one is. So again, this will be 4 1/4, and I believe this was 5 1/4, right? 5 1/4 by 4 1/4. 2 of them. 5 1/4 by 4 1/4. And I won't be able to get 2 that way, so we'll take another one. 5 1/4. All right. put one here. And we'll put one on that side. That way you can write on this side, or you can still just add a picture. And then sometimes I will take another one like this, make it a little smaller, and I'll show you that, and put on top of a pattern paper, and then they can still put a picture too. So we're actually going to do a double layer pretty soon here. Down a little bit. And bring the other side over. Okay. Okay, let's stay and do the inside. And I'm going to do a pattern here. Wait, pattern here, pattern there, which I want kind of to match these two. I may do just one pattern. I'm going to look at something. Those are good. I did those. So let's do something here. Let's see what we haven't used. I just love this paper no matter what. How about let's use one of these. We didn't use any of these, this one yet. I get it apart. That'll be okay for the inside. It's a little busy, but this one I would probably put a piece of paper over top. But your picture's going to cover most of that up anyways. So you got Magic Wish, Pixie Wishes, Toads and Stools. Okay, this is the purple side. And this one's got the black background. Let's go with purple, right? Okay, let's do purple. Does anybody else sit there and do that? Do we like that? Do we like that? We're going to go this way. Okay. So again, we'll do 5 3/4 by 3 3/4. You want to pay attention to your direction here. So we got to go 5 3/4 this way. So make that cut first. Of course, did you see that? I forgot already. Someone yell. 3 3/4. 3 3/4. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to go right over our tape, of course. That's good. Oh, I did the black side anyways. I want to do the purple. I like the purple better. Make sure I got it right side up. I'm going to take my tapes off. Okay, let's put down some glue. I'm going to put a little extra glue on and around my magnet there. I mean, you don't necessarily have to do that. That's kind of more of a habit for me, I think. A little closer up there. And the thing I like about glue is you have a little time to move it around. I used to use tape. I think I told you I used to use tape all the time. I did more mess ups with tape. I finally gave up on the tape. And then, because I was using, I forget what glue I started using. That was before Art Glitter Glue and Barely Art came out. And then, but it was so expensive because it was just a small bottle. I forget which brand that was. I can't think of it offhand. And then when Art Glitter Glue came on the market, that came on the market first. Love that. So I started using glue. And then Barely Arts came on the market. And honestly, I don't think there's any difference between the Barely Arts and the Art Glitter Glue. It's kind of like during the winter, you know, here in Wisconsin, Art Glitter Glue will not ship when it gets under 40 degrees or 30 degrees. I forget what it is. So, of course, you know, our winters are cold. I run out. I know Barely Arts will ship to me. So then I stock up. I get the big bear, the big refill bottle. Comes in a little bear. Like those, like your bottle of honey. There we go. Just like that. Okay, we're going to do this late. We got this side, and that's all done. Okay, now I want to see something on this. I'm going to do that on the cover, but I might try, let me look at all my paper again. Because I'm going to put this on the cover, but you could do something like this when you have a page that overlaps like this, and you just cut it, and then when you put it together, it'll look like it's a full page again. But I want that for my cover, but I want to see what else here. I wish instead of giving you like 4 or 5 of the same, they would give you a couple of different ones. Okay, so I have that. I want to see something on this one. I cut one of these off. They are about 2 inches. So how much room do I have on the bottom? A little bit would hide me. Oh, I need to do a full sheet. I forgot. What am I thinking? I'm going to cover it up. That's not going to work. So we're going to do a full sheet of something. I forgot. That won't work so well. Let's see. What didn't we use, guys? We used the stars. I think we used the stars. Actually, oh yeah, we used the stars there. We used the pink mushroom one. We used that. We used our mushroom. We did not use the back of the mushroom. Let's take one of those out. Maybe we'll do that. And this one has like a little texture. You can't really see it, but it's got a little texture on that one. Let's see, and maybe I'll just do the green mushroom too. I have one torn out. Make those two together once. Or I'm gonna go completely different. And let me take this one out once. This is what happens, guys. This is what happens. Okay. So let's put this the way it's supposed to be. And I kind of like that one. And we can put that down. That way it's not too busy, where I can put like maybe this piece on top. Then I can put a piece like that on top, or the darker green one, which I don't think goes real well with this. It is, the coloring is in here. This teal kind of color is throughout here, but I don't know if I like that together. I think I prefer to have this one. So I think I'm going to do this one. Now, it doesn't matter, guys. Don't think that I'm right or wrong. You guys are right or wrong. It's whatever you like. There is no right or wrong to how you put these together. 3 3/4, I believe, by 5 3/4. There is no right or wrong. You do you and what you like together. And 3 3/4. Call it a day. Make sure I cut that right. And then the same probably for this one. 3 3/4 by 5 3/4. That one doesn't have no rhyme or reason. Okay. Let's double check to make sure I did cut right. Perfect. And perfect. Okay. Let's do this one first. Okay. I'm keeping the link in the description box for this, even though I know it might be sold out again. I'm keeping the link for my Sweet Petunia. That's who makes it, because they normally get it in first before anybody else. So if you're really, really desperate for it, then go right to my Sweet Petunia, because they'll get it in before anybody else. So you just gotta keep on it and keep looking. I know I got mine when it first came out, so it wasn't a hot item yet. People weren't seeing it yet. And now I know that people are seeing it. It is selling out like hotcakes, apparently. Okay, right way, right way. Oh, I'm using this side, ain't I? You could use the dark side, but no, I don't like that side. Okay. Good. Hope you guys are enjoying this album. I have some more viewer requests for the cinch thermal binding thing. That's going to be on Tuesdays also, so I'm got that coming up next. Before we start another journal, we'll be doing a couple of the thermal cinch binding machine thing. So that, okay. Now I do want to put, I think we are going to put one of these down. Let's take this out. Did I take one out? No. Take that out. Now I'm going to put one down. I'm going to cut it just a little bit so I get a little bit of border around. So let me cut, which one do we like? I think I like the middle one the best. Anybody agree with me or disagree? Okay. Wouldn't that be something if you guys could, like, I mean, tell me what to do all the time. I'm going to cut it. First, I'm going to cut it right on the line, cut it out, and then I'm going to cut it down a little bit, see where I want to cut it. Okay. Because I would like to try to have a little bit show from the edges first. I think that was 5 3/4, right, guys? I cut that 5 3/4. So we can take off a little bit on each side here. I think this is a 6. So let's go down teeny tiny on this side. And then we go down 5 3/4 on this side. I like to take a little bit from each side instead of just chomping off one, because then I think it still kind of makes it somewhat balanced. Actually, I want to go down a little bit more because that's not showing the border. I need to go down to 5 1/2. What am I thinking, people? I'm layering 5 1/2. We're going down to. Then we'll have that little color peek through. See, now we have just a little bit on the sides coming through. Now, because this is closed, I only have, how much do I have to work with? I have, so I want it to be probably about 1 1/2 we'll try. And if we have to cut it down a little bit, we'll cut it down. But let's go 1 1/2. Now let's see what that's going to be. That's got to be a 1/2 inch because this is a 2 inch. We already figured. I can take a little tiny bit off the bottom base. There's really nothing interfering. So I'll take a little bit off of there. Just under that flower. And then there's more, a little bit more on top. I'm going to end up cutting. Okay, let's start with 1 3/4 first. And see if I like it above there or not. You can always cut it shorter, but you cannot put it back together. Now, it's going to go right about like that. Do I want a border there on top too? I like it like that. Or do I just want to leave it like that? And then a little bit will peek through there. I think I'll leave it like that and just show the border on 3 sides, because then I'm going to have this whole border above here where you can write, or you can put some more embellishments, or if you have the small pictures, you can put the small pictures from those handheld printable things. Let's leave it like that, I think. We think we will. Like I said, this is kind of like, you know, when you put a junk journal together. So whatever you like, your taste is. Okay, so then when it closes up, that's kind of pretty, I think. Okay, before we get to the big pages, we still have these and those, which these actually go on the inside when you close it. And I'll show you at the end how the best way to close it. These are going to go in first. So we have these two. We have solid there. When you open this up, I think I'm going to do solid again. I think I'm going to do solid here. And then the pattern here, because that's going to fold over like this so you see the pattern. Let's find our patterns again. It's almost like, let's just take that away since it just didn't want to, it popped out of there now. Okay. What do you want? Stars. I'm going to take one of these out for a minute, and I'm going to take the purple one out for a minute. I may want those two together. Let's put those in front. You guys can see those. Because when it comes together, it's going to come, the book's going to come, it's going to be like this. So you're going to see a little bit of purple under there. Okay, or, but I want the rainbow one. That's that. Got that. We got the mushroom, which I might leave for the other page. I still have the two big pages yet. Okay, let's go with it. You like how I make that decision? Okay, so let's start. We'll do that later. Put this and then we'll match our colors up. We'll match it up, girls and boys. 4 3/4 by 5 1/4. Now here's, you can make a decision. Do you want your waves to go this way or do you want your waves to go this way? I like them to go this way because I can get more of the color variation in it. You probably can forget already. 4 3/4 by 5 1/4. The 4 3/4 is going to go this way. 4 3/4 go this way. And then the 5, I'm going to keep the white on top. 5 1/4 this way. Did I do that right, guys? For some reason I think not, but I did. Okay, let's put that down. And again, if you like inking and all that stuff, you go ahead and ink. Like I said, when I'm making an album, a regular album, I don't ink as much as I do as in mini albums. I don't necessarily need it to be distressed looking in a mini album because, you know, you're putting new pictures in. You're not really putting old pictures in. Let's pull this up so I can make sure I have enough. And then that closes. And then good, again, 5 1/4, I believe, by 4 3/4. We want the purple side. You can see the purple's got, it's kind of glossy there. Some of them kind of got a texture. Some of them kind of got a gloss to it. They have a, like a little assortment of things in there. Some have a little shimmer to it in that pack. Okay, there we go. See, that kind of complements nicely. My next album, when I plan it, I think I will do the Winnie the Pooh paper. If you've seen my scrapbook.com haul. So I think we'll use that for the next one. Okay. Now when you open this like this or like this, I'm going to do the, I think the gold there. And we might have a piece of gold from the, I think we did that gold on the other one. That's kind of orangey. We'll want that side. What did we do last time? We did the orange actually. Nope, we did this side. So I think we're going to do the orange and take out the orange in the stars this time. The stars are kind of partially orange and partially gold. So I think we'll do the orange on this side. So let's do that. Are you with me, guys? Okay. So 4 1/4 by 5 1/4. 5 by 4 1/4. Okay, let's see how that goes nicely together. And again, you can use it to write on, or even if we're putting like, let's see, give me my book. If we put one of these in the middle, like her dress would go really nice in there. So you have the plain background instead of all pattern backgrounds to work with. So you can do a little bit more with a plain background than you can with the decorative background. I like to try, if I can, incorporate some plain colors in my album. I try to do that. That's if I can manage to find some papers that kind of go with my paper pack. Okay. So now that kind of matches. And now this side we have purple. Let's see. Find the purples. Purples in here. So you got your darker purples. Oh, you got this. Let's take this lighter purple. Oh, that's the same as that one. If that's the same as that one. These are more. Here we go. Let's do the light purple this time. We've used that darker purple, so let's do this lighter purple. With that, I'll go on this side. So let's do that. I always got to keep double checking, don't I? 4 1/4, 5 1/4. Five 1/4, 4 1/4. All right, that's gonna go right on this side. Bring it back so you can kind of see here. See how it kind of matches nicely. Right. Beautiful. Okay, now all we have left is our 2 covers, the inside and the outside. And here's where I think I'm going to double layer my papers, because this will be seen. This is my cover. Let's leave the cover for last. Losing my voice. Let's go inside here first. Okay, first let's pick out our papers. And I think I want to go back to that mushroom one again. I like my mushroom, but I got to be careful. I'm going to put one of these up. This is for the front cover, so I'm going to take it, pull it out, because if I'm not careful, I'm going to use it. I'm going to stick it up there so we don't use it. I have the mushroom left. That might be my last mushroom too. I think I'm going to use this one. I'm going to put you on one side. Okay, and then let's see what we want to put on the other side. I want something more. I don't think as quite as busy, maybe. So my stars. We haven't used this darker fairy one, so I think the reds will kind of match nicely. So I think we'll use this one, and it'll also match nicely with this page that we did, because that'll be shown like this then. What do you think? Or do we want to do the mushrooms on this side and on that side? Then you've got kind of 2 greens together. This is where I overthink myself. I'm sure you guys do too, but there's where I start overthinking myself. So then I think like this. So then I do this, which I don't want to use too many of these. So then I'll sit there and do this, be like, okay, do I like the greens, or do I like the 2 reds and the green like that? See, this is what I do to myself, and that's why it takes me so long to, like, you know, I think like this better, this layout better. Yeah. Now, but this is going to make my layering a little difficult, I think. Okay, this one I can use the tan underneath. That'll work perfect for that. I'm going to leave a little border like that. And this one has that white, but I think I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just still going to leave the little border of tan, because this pack doesn't come with any like thing lighter. It's got that light blue, but it's more of a white. Okay. let's do this, guys. Let's just do this. And I'll use that mushroom one for another spot. See, I'm telling you. So first, this should be a 6 by 6. 6 by 6, so we're gonna go 5 3/4 by 5 3/4 for the first one, which will be this one. So I need 2 of them. Okay, there, 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. And one more. Okay, so these are our 2 inside, so we're going to have this down first, somewhat straight. Then we're going to put this one down next. Now we got 5 3/4 on 5 3/4, so we're going to do 5 1/2 by 5 1/2. 5 1/2 by 5 1/2. And then that's going to go layer right on top. And see the kind of the dimension then when you get from there? Do that too. Don't be afraid to do that. If you have the paper to do it. If you don't have enough paper, then don't do it. So then we're going to layer that one too. And that just kind of brings out more color too, so it's not so dark looking. Okay, so let's put down this one first. And after this, we're gonna stop. We're in the 32 minutes already. And we'll do our cover and our back. And maybe some embellishing next time. And then we probably should be done with one more. Okay. And then this one will go right on top. Perfect. All right. Back that way a little bit, and I think that looks pretty good. All right, what do you think, guys? I like that. All right, then review so I can get to this side. And we have, take off our tape. All right. Okay, let's go down first. All right, line you up and put you down. And rub really good around where the magnet is. So you always want to leave enough paper from where your magnet is to the edge, so you have enough room to lay the paper down nicely so it doesn't pop up on you. Okay. Now we're going to lay this one that goes that way, right on top. And this paper is thin enough. It's not a really heavy cardstock, so that your magnets will still catch. As you can hear that, a magnet still caught. And then this one. Okay, so what we have left is, we have left the outside, the inside cover there, and then the back, and then we may do some of our edges too. So we'll do that in the next video. So let's take a quick flip through where we're at right now. Those open like that side, and that side. I love that color. You have that, and you got your pocket here, which we'll be putting some tags in. And you have a flip here, and then you have the belly band here. And then we'll put something on here too. So we'll do some decorating. And then, so when I fold it, I take these two, I leave all that. I take these two and put in first. It doesn't matter if you go this way or this way, but since we set our pattern up like this, so it really doesn't matter. But because I set my pattern up that way, I like to close mine that way. I like to see more of the stars and just that peeking out. And then this, you can put the top or the bottom, it doesn't matter, but make sure first before you decide if you want to do top or bottom, how you're doing your pattern first. Okay, so that's why I'm doing it that way. But if you want to do it this way, top down, bottom up, then make sure you do your, check your pattern. So I'm doing it this way. Let's put that down first, it's in my way. Okay, so I'm going to bring the bottom up and bring the top down, and then it kind of looks like a pattern. And then mine goes this way like that, closes. And you could either way, but I already have my magnets on that way, so mine's closing that way. But you could close it that way. It depends on how you like it. I like to be different sometimes. All right, guys, that's part 3. And hopefully part 4 we'll get it all finished up. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.